When you were in high school, did it ever happen that you used the same notebooks that your parents or even your grandparents used when they went to school? Well, as it turns out, in personal finance, it's pretty much the same. Even though there's still a lot of good books being released about personal finance today and a lot of things keep being added, the core of the concepts are pretty much the same over the last 2 centuries. One of the biggest examples of that is the book called The Richest Man In Babylon. It was written almost a century ago and is based on stories that are much older than that. But the interesting thing is that it points out very important points that are still applicable today. So let's go over those. Now, the first point of the 7 cures for a lean purse is start with your wallet. You've probably heard this before, the idea of paying yourself first. The important thing is by the time you get your paycheck, after you pay Uncle Sam, after you pay your insurance, after you pay yourself for the future, the next most important thing that you have to do is pay yourself first. We've had a lot of videos on this channel where we talk about that, and at the end of the day, the key of that is automation. So the most important thing, and I do that myself today, is set an automatic payment for you to pay yourself every single time you get a paycheck. The second one is control your expenditures. Now, I hate the word budgeting, and budgeting is one of the worst things that you have to go through when you're learning about personal finance. But the key of budgeting, which you don't have to do every so often, you just have to do it maybe once a year or twice a year, is safeguarding your future dreams from the irrelevant wishes that you have in the day-to-day. Now, it's not a matter of not buying that cup of coffee every single day. It's a matter of, if you want to buy the cup of coffee, what are the other things that you're going to give up on? And pretty much the only way you figure that out is when you have a good budget that you can follow. The next one is make your money multiply, or pretty much just invest. So the next step after you put some money aside is having each dollar become a worker and just generate more money for you. Obviously, I would say that from millennials going forward, investing is much more common, but a lot of people are afraid of doing it because they think that investing at the end of the day is just picking individual stocks. And the reality is not. Investing the appropriate way, the way that you should do it, is completely opposite of that. The fourth point is guarding your investments for loss. And for me, this just lights up a bell from Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin might be a good investment, and I think it might be something that returns a lot of money in the future. But I see so many people that just put the money into it without knowing what it is. They even emphasize it in this book, saying that you have to invest the money in the things that you know about. And if you don't know about, pick up a book and read about it. Or if you don't want to do that yourself, pay someone that knows about it. But having your financing decisions being made from the conversations that you have in a party about Bitcoin reaching $100,000, that's not gonna cut it for you. The fifth point is make your dwelling a profitable investment, which pretty much translates into buying your own house and not renting. Now, this is one of the biggest places where I saw like a big difference to other more recent books, like I Will Teach You to Be Rich, which is actually my favorite one. And the author of this book actually makes a huge case about renting and not buying. So the conclusion for me here is talk to a specialist and analyze what makes more sense for you in the long run. Are you going for stability and knowing that you have a home that you're building equity in every month? Or are you looking for having more flexibility and just renting and being able to move next month? The sixth point is ensuring future income. The simple way of seeing this is life insurance. If you're the person that is the head of the household, you should start planning for the possibility of you being away and your family being left behind. But it's more applicable to people like me. I've actually been unemployed for 4 months now, so exciting. And even to this day, every single month, I still put money aside for my Roth IRA because I know that my retirement planning is not gonna take a halt. And also, following that first advice of putting 10% of your salary into your savings, that was pretty much maintaining me for the last 4 months. And the seventh and last, and maybe my favorite one, is increase your ability to earn. So they talk about motivation, which I love that chapter, and they explain how you can get motivated. And the most important part is staying educated. So I once read this book, I think it was I Will Teach You to Be Rich, that said that every single person wants to be a millionaire, but no one wants to read a book about it. So that's my favorite, and I'd say the most important point is stay educated. Read a book, read an article, read anything that you think is gonna help you to reach the goals that you want. So I really like this book. I like the different approach. I definitely consider it a must read because from all the personal finance books that I've read, this condenses it into 100 pages, which is nothing. The official score is a 4.0. And like I said, it is definitely a must read. I really hope you guys like this video, and if you have any other books that you guys think we should review, put it in the comments and we'll be sure to check it out. See you next Wednesday.